and a very warm welcome to this meeting and our Farming for Carbon and Nature programme. I'm Tilly, as you all know, from SOS UK, and it's really wonderful to have you all here as the first official cohort for our new Farming for Carbon and Nature programme, or FCN, as I'm sure you're aware, is much easier to say for short. So this meeting is about welcoming you, sharing what the year ahead will look like and how we can help shape how the tertiary education sector sees and manages their farmland so it benefits climate, nature and people. It's all really exciting, and I'm really, really pleased to get this started. Before we go any further though, I'd just like to more formally introduce Katie Underwood, who's on the call, who I'm really pleased will be working with me to deliver FCN this year. Katie, do you want to just say hi and just share just a minute about yourself?
Yeah, no worries. So hi everyone, I'm Katie. I'm looking forward to getting to know you all a little better over the next year. I know Tilly really knows you all quite well, but I'll be getting to know you all, which would be great. I'm really working on Carbon Nature this year, which is super exciting for me. I've had parts to play in some of the pilot and running webinars for biodiversity and bits in the past anyway. But I suppose my background is, and I work on projects which kind of surround biodiversity and wilding and everything along those lines. So I'm hoping I'm coming into this with a little bit of knowledge. But just super excited to get to know you all. I'll push back over to for now.
Amazing, thank you, Katie. So the plan is to do a few introductions. It's just want this to be quite a friendly, informal meeting. I've allowed some time for questions at the end, but happy for you to jump in at any point. As I said, I won't be able to keep an eye on the chat, so when I'm sending, or won't be able to reply. I've just noticed Emily had left. Katie will be able to keep an eye on the chat. So the plan is to do some introductions. There are some people who are joining the first cohort who are very familiar with the programme because they were in the pilot, and there are others who are totally new to it. So I'll give an overview of Farming for Carbon and Nature, including a bit of background and information about the pilot project. I talk a bit about what we hope to achieve through the programme, the timeline for the year, including farm visits, an overview of the core activities, and at the end, some time to share thoughts and questions. So let's start with a few introductions. If you could just share your name, your university or college or farm, your role, and one thing that you're most looking forward to about being part of the programme. While you're having a quick think, I can kick things off. So I'm Tilly. For those of you who aren't here, who are watching the recording, I'm Tilly from SOS UK, and I'm the Senior Project Manager for Food and Farming. And I'm really excited about working on a project that has sector-wide targets. So who would like to go next? I'm going to pick on, so if we all pick somebody, then we can do that popcorn thing. I'm going to pick on Josh because you were the first one who joined this meeting.
That's fine, Tilly, thank you. So I'm Josh Wright. I'm farm manager at Bishop Burton College. I've been here 12 months, just over 12 months, and I've worked with Tilly on the pilot project anyway. I'm probably most looking forward to actually getting the students here involved in the project, because I know there's quite a few looking forward to it already, and getting their input and seeing the biodiversity surveys and stuff on the farm here. So yeah. Do you want me to pick somebody to go next? Okay. Rachel Ward, sorry.
It's all right, you got to pick someone. Yeah, I'm Rachel, Environmental Sustainability Manager at the Royal Vet College. We were involved in the pilot with my farm manager, so know a little bit about the programme. really looking forward to just finding out what everybody else is doing, and yeah, getting our students involved as well, because we're teaming up with our wildlife ecology course and they're super keen to get involved. So yeah, it'd be good to find out what everyone's doing. I will pick Emily.
Hello, so I'm Emily Luby. I'm also from Bishop Burton College, so you've got two of us today. And I am the sustainability officer, so that's why I'm here. But yeah, same as everybody's already said, I think it's just such a great opportunity for the students. It just gives them a really different sort of angle to look at, and something that can really kind of supplement their course learning as well, and sort of helps them understand those climate implications when they're doing their work, which I think is a really good angle as well.
Do you want to pick somebody else, Emily?
Oh, I forgot to pick someone. Georgia, can you do the? Can you? Oh no, Georgia can't speak, can she? Come on, Katie.
Yeah. I can speak on Georgia's got put something in the chat, so I'll say yours on your behalf. Thank you for adding that. So Georgia, Senior Biodiversity Manager at the University of Edinburgh, is looking forward to sharing experiences with other universities and learning more about their land from the surveys. Thank you for that, Georgia. And just to add, I just received an email as well from your farm manager, or somebody on behalf of your farm manager, James, to say he's been called away on an urgent matter at the farm, which we totally understand with 4 years of this pilot that happens, and that's yeah, that comes first, so that's no problem. But I think you said so. Okay, but Katie, welcome, Katie. Glad you could join us. We've just only just started and just doing introductions, as I'm sure you've just realised. Would you like to do?
Of course, yeah. So yeah, many apologies for being late. So I'm Katie. I'm the Director of Sustainability at the University of Worcester, and we're hoping to join this pilot where we're sharing it with the Royal Agricultural University. So it's made its way through their approvals process. We're still hovering between ours, so we're not fully signed up, but I did want to, albeit late, join the call today. So the way that we're looking to approach this is we don't have any farms, but Professor Duncan Westbury, who is Dean down at the Royal Agricultural University, used to work here at the University of Worcester. And we were involved in the very, very early days of the pilot. So we've been really kind of interested in the project. And with the fortunate move down to somebody that does have farms. So the idea would be for us is Duncan's students would take the soil samples, and students at the University of Worcester would do the analysis. So that's, we'd be sharing that. So apologies again for being late.
No problem. Thank you. That's everybody. So about SOS UK. So for those, I think probably most of you here are the couple of people that haven't been able to join the call. I think maybe less familiar. So for anyone who isn't so familiar with SOS UK, we're a UK charity transforming education so people protect the climate and nature. We're working to change the way we teach, what we learn, and how that's assessed. So climate and nature are a priority. We make sure the places where we learn show us what's possible, helping us to help nature and the climate. And we ensure students from every background can play their role in protecting and building a better world. And I hope you're like in the new branding. We had a complete rebrand this summer. If you're thinking that we look like a bit of a different organization, it's just, yeah, we've had a bit of a glow up. So Farming for Carbon and Nature, a bit of background and about the pilot project. So we started the FCN pilot project in collaboration with several institutions in recognition that universities and colleges have a really important role in leading on land-based climate and biodiversity action. 70% of the UK is farmland, and agriculture is responsible for 11% of greenhouse gas emissions. Farmland is also a significant contributor to the UK being one of the most depleted countries in the world, most nature depleted countries in the world. But the good news is that the tertiary education sector owns a fair amount of farmland, around 35,000 hectares. So what we hope to do is to show the UK, show the world, what can be achieved when a sector comes together to create change. There have been two main drivers in developing the FCN programme. The first has been to support universities and colleges in reaching net zero targets while providing co-benefits for nature and people. And this approach aligns with the Science Based Targets Initiative, their guidance, and the overall FCN programme also aligns with many broader institutional strategic plans. And although we know regenerative land management is the right thing to do, there can be many challenges for farmers to make this happen. So the second driver for us has been to listen to farmers, to find out what they need to be able to farm more regeneratively, and to design the programme so that individual farm needs can be understood and met, and so that change is supported in the right way. So we did it was a 4-year pilot funded by Esme Fairbairn Foundation. There were 10 pilot farms during that time. We collected over 2,000 soil samples and analysed them at Loughborough University labs. We involved over 125 students with surveying biodiversity. We held numerous knowledge exchange sessions between farmers themselves and also with guest speakers coming in often who are also farmers but from outside the sector. We did freedom of information requests to understand land ownership in the sector. And so basically the pilot shaped the new FCN programme and built credibility within the sector and beyond. Although we've done the pilot for 4 years and we had 10 pilot farms then, we're launching the programme on a smaller scale, just with 5 institutions, because we've got such a good subsidy from our grant funder. So there was only so much that we could, because it's 75% funded by the funder. There's only a limited number of opportunities that we could give this to start with. So there'll be 5 institutions in the first year, 10 in the second year, 15 in the third year, and then it will be open up to any institution to join from the 4th year onwards. So the students had a really positive experience during the pilot. 96% of them told us they felt they gained valuable skills and experience related to sustainability and the climate biodiversity crisis. Knowing some of the students, I think that remaining 4% was we had some PhD students who really knew their stuff. So I think it's that they didn't gain the skills because they already had the skills. And we got some great quotes, such as ones I've shared here. So they said it was nice to feel part of real change, helping assess carbon in farming. I thought it was run really well. It was a great opportunity for me to work in the lab for the first time and learn more about the testing process. It has inspired me to dig into lab work and soil science. POMS, that's the pollinator monitoring scheme, was awesome, and it made me understand the importance of the pollinators. It made me feel like we should protect them in order to make this world beautiful. I got to learn and do some things not covered in my course and meet some good people. It was very inspiring and fulfilling to be connected to such a project, and it made me want to do more. And getting to meet other like-minded people while working on an important project that also expanded our knowledge and skills. So we got these quotes and lots more and other statistics by doing baseline and follow-up surveys with students before and after they do the training sessions and farm visits. So we'll be doing that this year with the programme as well. So we'll have data from your students like this that we'll be able to share with you as well. So it's often said that there's a lack of information on the financial and environmental impacts of more regenerative farming practices is a barrier to their adoption. I think there are several other barriers as well, but that's definitely like the financial and environmental impacts, people not being clear on that as being a barrier. So SOS UK commissioned Farm Carbon Toolkit during the pilot to compile a report to help universities and colleges understand these impacts, to help them make decisions and to support the farmers who are farming on the land that they own. So the report explores the financial and climate impacts of 12 regenerative farming practices on 5 different types of farm: dairy, arable, mixed, lowland beef and sheep, and upland beef and sheep. And the full report is available to download from our website. And there's also a recording of a webinar on our YouTube channel that Liz Bowles, who's the CEO of Farm Carbon Toolkit, did, sharing insights from the report as well, which might be of interest to you. And a quote from one of the farmers at the end of our pilot was, "We've really enjoyed being part of the programme. It's been so helpful, and it's opened a lot of doors for sustainability," which is the plan. So just so you're aware of sort of like who had a say in the pilot and in shaping the programme as it is now, there were loads of people. It's been amazing. I've been able to learn a lot from a lot of people, but the pilot wouldn't have happened without all of the these people being involved through either through the advisory group, being pilot farms, or in other ways helping to develop and come up with ideas of how the programme could look, and by trialling them during the pilot. And the pilot and the programme, now is linked into several networks, national networks as well. It's part of the Sustainable Farm Networks, which is delivered by Harper Adams University, and that's a network of networks. So there are lots of farmer networks in the UK, and they brought them all, or a lot of them, together to share knowledge and experience, so that can be disseminated through all the networks. And we're also actively involved with Agri-Food for Net Zero network, and also Sustain, the Alliance for Better Food and Farming. We're a member of that alliance. We're also a member of the Eating Better Alliance, who support the production of better meat and dairy through more regenerative farming practices. And also we're a member of the Conscious Food Systems Alliance, which is a United Nations Development Programme convened initiative. So that's sort of a bit of the background and the basis for the programme. So the programme, I'm going to talk now about the programme that you've signed up for and what's going to be happening over the this academic year and what we hope to achieve. So FCN has been designed to achieve basically these 5 outcomes. 1, to follow Science Based Targets Initiative net zero guidance with co-benefits for nature and people. 2, to increase the resilience, viability and sustainability of farmland owned by universities and colleges. 3, to contribute to pioneering multi-institution research into farm soil carbon storage. 4, to enrich student experience through informal learning and access to nature. And 5, to evidence nature recovery and contribute to national biodiversity data sets. So it's really about combining evidence, education and real-world impact. We also have set 4 sector-wide targets to achieve by 2030. So we hope that we'll be able to say that 15,000 hectares of university and college owned land in the UK is being farmed regeneratively, that 1,500 students engaged with FCN sustainable food production activities, that 12,000 farm soil samples are being tested for carbon, and 150 farm biodiversity surveys have been completed. So this is the bit where I'm excited that that everyone's working together for sector targets and trying to achieve change across a whole sector. And I think that's where other sectors might be interested in seeing this as a model of how they could work as well. It might also be useful to know that FCN directly contributes to 4 of the UN Sustainable Development Goals as well. I've just added them on here. So zero hunger, responsible consumption and production, climate action, and life on land. So how does this all translate into action? So there'll be 5 main activities. I feel like 5 is the key number here for the programme. 5 key main activities for the programme. So soil sampling and lab testing, which will provide robust carbon and soil health data, which is useful for you and making decisions around the farm, but also will contribute to meaningful research in this area. Farmers in the tertiary education sector, whether tenants or managed in-house, do face unique opportunities and challenges. So the farmer knowledge exchange sessions will bring together all farmers to share experience and innovation. The student engagement, with that, there'll be various activities to raise awareness about where their food comes from, training sessions, farm visits, and then also the testing of the soil samples in the labs as well. There's the optional biodiversity monitoring. I know some of you have opted for all 4, some of you aren't doing any, and some of you are doing some of them, so there's a bit of a mixture, but overall, as for the sector, that'll be contributing to national citizen science data sets. And finally, the Leadership Council for Regenerative Farming in the tertiary education sector, which we'll be creating this year. So I just want to say a little bit more about the Leadership Council, because that's another thing I'm really excited about getting going as well. So as you're all in the first cohort, you'll be forming that and sort of being able to shape how that works and looks. And it means that you're not just participants in the programme, but you'll be able to help shape its direction, be able to, so that we can share learning with other institutions and demonstrate sector leadership in collective sustainable land management and climate action. So we'll meet regularly to discuss emerging standards, any sort of changes around policy that might be relevant, share data, and ensure that the FCN remains practical, relevant, and impactful to the needs of the sector and the changes that we want to see. So we showed through the pilot that this programme only works because it's collaborative. That was like a really key thing throughout the programme. And so universities and colleges provide critical farmer support, help with the student recruitment, do the lab testing, and show sector leadership. The farms bring the expertise, practical knowledge to share, and a commitment to regenerative farming practices, and also showing sector leadership there as well. And SOS UK does all the coordination, training, facilitating, farm visits, data collection, evaluation. And it's that collaboration of all 3 working together that I think is the how we can really create change through the programme. So I've only got a few slides left to look at the timeline and sort of our next steps. But I feel like I've talked non-stop for a while. Does anybody just have any burning questions now, or shall I finish those ones and come back? Oh, all good. Okay, I will carry on, and then we can. Oh, Katie, you got your hand up? No. Okay.
No, I was just saying all good with me. So yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay, great. I will talk about the timeline. I'm not sure how big you have this on the screens and how bright the colours are for you. Hopefully it's yeah, okay for you to look at. But this was originally in some more muted colours, but I kind of felt I had to change them for the branding. But it did all look quite bright together. So here's what the year sort of roughly looks like. It is a guide, and there might be reasons that we're happy to be flexible. It's more about knowing kind of roughly what time of year things need to happen and to make sure everything does happen throughout the programme. But we're happy to be flexible to fit in with you. So we're basically starting off with this, and we did start off, I think, original plan that I may have shared with you. We were going to do start some more things in October, but because we were waiting to see exactly who to have our 5 cohort, that's why yeah, we've kind of pushed things in, but nothing's missing. It's just pushed it into November. So we're starting with this welcome webinar, and then we'll move to one-to-one planning meetings that we'll arrange with each of you to plan farm visits and student engagement activities throughout the year, but mainly over winter, because I know over sort of summer, but also spring and autumn for farming is tricky for capacity. So try to load it more into the winter for the farmer knowledge exchange sessions. And then student recruitment and training, and the core soil sampling and testing periods, and any biodiversity surveys you've requested will be more in spring and summer. And then towards the end of the year, we'll have some time to reflect on how it's been, evaluate progress, and plan for the following year. So ideally, hopefully you'll all want to join again for the following year, and that means that the data collected, you'll be able to have year-on-year data, and this year will be the baseline data that's collected. Except for those in the pilot, you'll also have some previous data that you'll be able to draw on. And so immediate next steps, so between sort of now and Christmas, we'll be arranging planning meetings. So Katie and I will be getting in touch with you and arranging meetings that'll be between us, university and college contacts, and the farmer contacts, so for all 3. And then we'll agree dates throughout the year so that they're in the diary, so that everybody knows what's happening. So agree the farm visit dates, discuss student activities, and discuss any other meeting dates, so that the year is planned out. We'll also ask you to complete a farm data spreadsheet. Again, for those involved in the pilot, you'll know what that is because you've done that before, but it's basically a spreadsheet asking for information about like rotations and what you're doing on different fields, what your soil type is, topography, different things. So that is useful for the data for the soil sampling, to know which fields to sample, and then also for the analysis for the soil carbon, to understand the different levels of carbon, the stability of the carbon, etc., in relation to the type of farming that's happening on that piece of land. We'll also do the first leadership council meeting and have the first farmer knowledge exchange session. And I'll also invite you to join an FCN online Teams workspace there. Then everybody can use that. If you've got any interesting information that you think that whole group might like to share, or for us to share announcements, I'll create that and invite you to that. So yeah, that's my slides and updates. I'd love to hear from you any kind of what excites you about the programme, if you particularly if there's any challenges that you anticipate or any concerns you might have. If you've got any ideas for topics that you'd really like for the Farmer Knowledge Exchange session. So I think the first one before Christmas, that I would be keen to have that just for the farmers that are in this first cohort, just for them to be able to share between themselves and learn from each other about what the farms are. But for other ones, there could be guest speakers, if you've got any thoughts about what might be helpful. So feel free to unmute, or you can use the chat. SP.
I don't have any anything to say about what excites me. I mean, it does excite me. It's a really good program, and obviously I did a little bit with you last year when I first started. I was just wondering, the calendar that you've got with all the wonderful colours on, could I have a copy of that, please? Because I'm going to have to speak to the lead academic, the academic who's going to lead it here, and to get these surveys done and that sort of thing. When I could just do with a copy of that if you've got one, or if you can send it, please.
Yeah, that's no problem at all, Josh. I can send that to you. I'll send it in an email. Yeah, and we'll also when we have our first planning meeting, we can go through that then to put specific dates to the different things. So it might be useful to, if I send you that beforehand, if you've got other people, or if you want to invite the academics to that planning meeting as well, then they'd be more than welcome, if that would make it easier.
Yeah, I just need to catch up with her first, and then make sure she's aware of what she needs to be doing. So, but I'll speak to her and see if she can join. And I'll let you know that.
Okay, great. Sounds good. Right. Georgia, I can hear you. I can hear your lips moving. I can see your lips moving. I can't hear you. Do you want to put it in the chat? Oh, I guess maybe I could, for the knowledge exchange sessions. Yeah, that would be. I think that, so that for the first knowledge exchange session, I would definitely. It would be very much about learning about what stage the farms are at. And I think with that, like I've said, like it is for the farmers, that's that's the target audience for those sessions. But for any of sustainability stuff or biodiversity, like yourself, if you want to join in those meetings, then yeah, you'd be very, very welcome. But I don't know, yeah, maybe Josh is the only farmer on here. Rachel, I don't know how much with Graham that you've spoken to, if you'd be able to answer that question on behalf of RBC.
I guess in terms of challenges that we might have is getting Graham's time, because he's so busy, because obviously he's like, yeah, he's involved with the teaching as well, and we've just built a new teaching facility at the farm, so there's a lot more that's going on. So I can see that's going to be tricky, but yeah, we'll have to work through that. Yeah, I guess.
Sorry.
One of the things that I know Graham's quite keen to look at is silvopasture, so it'd be useful to have any information on that, anyone's experience of using it, because it's something we've discussed but never quite managed to get it off the ground.
Brilliant. Josh, I'm going to put you on the spot. Is that something you've got experience of? Because get you as the guest speaker on this.
It's not actually, but in response to George's question about sort of where we are with it, we are, apart from the maize that we grow, we are absolutely direct drill. We try and cultivate nothing really, and go straight to stubbles. We grow overwintered cover crops, which I try and make sure I've got at least 15 species in them. All our grazing that we do is herbal layers, and I'm just in talks with a seed company about getting a special our own sort of mix together for here, to increase the species in that. At the minute, that I think there are 5 species in it, and I want to increase that drastically. So we're not fully regen. We still do use ag chemicals and artificial fertilizer, but we're heading that way. I had a meeting with the agronomist this week, and we're going to have a field where this year we only use artificial fur and focus more on nutrition of the crop rather than ag chemicals to control weeds and insects and that sort of thing. So we're heading that way, but it's a slow process, and it's not just easy to say that's it. We're going to cut it loss and go full regen.
Thank you, Josh. That's really helpful. And I wonder, and this sort of responds to what you're saying, Rachel, about Graham and his time. And I know that's like, with having spent the last 4 years working with farmers, it's not always easy to get in front of a computer or a laptop. It's there's other more important stuff going on. But I did wonder, the planning meetings. I need to review our budget, but I was wondering if I could like move things around a bit to find enough budget to actually make them in-person visits. I wonder if that would be useful, if there was a way we could do that, to actually, for the initial ones, to actually come out and do that planning meeting in person. Would that make a big difference? Or
Yeah, it probably would. It's just it is, I'm sure Josh knows what it's like. It's just there's always seems to be like an emergency or whatever. It's not from lack of interest he wants to be involved. It's just like stuff comes up. So in person's probably better, but yeah, be easier to manage, I think.
yeah, okay. Well, I'll have Katie and I can have a chat, and maybe it might be we can split it between us, and see how if I can work the budget out, because that wasn't originally the plan. But I kind of, hearing you saying that, and it did cross my mind before, that I thought it could be helpful especially for like for universities that we haven't worked with in the pilot, because it's about sort of probably about 50-50 on this. So I'll get back to you on that. So I left quite a lot of time for questions, so I thought there might be quite a lot, but I'm hoping that there's not, because everything's clear, and that's a good thing. You can always finish early. Nobody minds finishing an early meeting. But I don't want to stop it if anybody does have anything else they wanted to say. just go to my thank you slide and just say, before I do end the call, I just want to say a huge thank you for joining the programme and wanting to help shape how we can support the tertiary education sector to lead the transition to regenerative and climate and nature positive farming collectively as a sector. We're really looking forward to working alongside you this year, and we'll be in touch again soon to arrange this first planning meeting, possibly in person. I will definitely, I would love to come and see you all in person as well. I'll definitely try and make that happen. If you think of any questions after the meeting is finished, then you've all got my email address anyway. Katie is also there, to just feel free to drop me a message at any point.
Thank you very much.
Recording.